This video was brought to you by ABRP Planner, Kempower, Markus Bil, Stormberg and Bilkomponenter. Yo, what's up? We're now sitting in the Polestar 2 new version with 82 kilowatt-hour battery. We're gonna see today how fast it charges. So let's roll the tape. You will see that if you can hit 205 kilowatt at the beginning and it actually stays there, versus the old one that has a little bit slow ramp up, And then we include Model 3, okay, it hits 250, all right, and then i4, it hits around 200 kilowatt. So really impressive with the Polestar, the new Polestar, to be able to maintain that speed. But you see, even past, okay, around 16-70% it started throttling, but it can still maintain pretty good speed. I mean, it still charges fast on the fat e-tron, the new one with even bigger battery. Think about that. And versus the old Polestar, you see that the old Polestar, I mean, it was charging okay, but it wasn't class leading. But now it is pretty class leading with the new one. It can actually match i4. Look at that, nice and flat charging curve, right on par with the Germans. Think about that. Even Model 3 now is down to only 140 kilowatt. But okay, Model 3 has a little lead there, but still, Model 3 has a more traditional triangle shape charging curve, whereas the Polestar and the i4 has a very flatter curve. And also, versus the old Polestar, see that even now the new Polestar is the highest of the chart, but it's charging faster than the old Polestar. Yeah, if you're sitting with the old Polestar, I'd be like, oh shit, I want the new one. Yes, you definitely want the new one, because look what's going to happen now at around 50%. So the i4 is at 115 kilowatt. The Polestar is at 127 kilowatt. It's charging flatter than the Germans even. Wow, look at that, And in comparison, Tesla is at only 85 kilowatts. Wow, this is so much better than people. This flat charging curve actually makes the battery more usable. On long trips, you can charge so fast. You see that we charge for only 16 minutes when you're already at almost the 60%. The charging stops are so fast. I noticed this during 1,000 kilometer challenge. I was like, whoa, what the heck, man? I have to go again. Oh, I have to go again, Or what I can do is that I can charge further. I can charge to around 70%, even 60-70%, and I can still maintain quite high average speed during the 1,000 kilometer challenge because it's so nice and flat. But look at this, even now, at 66% versus i4, also 66%, the Polestar is charging faster than the Germans, flatter charging curve than German cars even. Wow, very impressive. The old Polestar, I'm not sure what we should say about it. It was not charging that fast previously. And the Model 3 is, okay, you guys have seen it before, we just put it in there as a reference also, in a different charging curve, more like, high peak and then slower towards the end, not the non-flat charging curve. But you will see that now at 75% the Polestar starts slowing down, but the i4 can still maintain speed. Oh yeah, now the true German comes out there in the i4, so that is nice and flat German charging curve. But Polestar 2 is still maintaining okay speed. The old Polestar, oh wow, is behind quite a lot. Look at that. The new Polestar is about to hit 80% and the old Polestar is still at 68, 69. Oh wow, that is a huge difference. Also, when you look at kilowatt hour, we have 61 versus so we have around 10 kilowatt hour more put into the battery. Well, it's pulled from the charger. Yeah. But right now you will see that the i4 still maintains okay speed, but past 80%, the new Polestar starts slowing down a little bit, only at around 40 something kilowatt. Even the Tesla is charging a little bit flatter here. We'll see in the charging curve soon. But on that, old Polestar still feels slow. You see, the old Polestar, even before 80%, it was going slow. So yeah, so that is still a big improvement, that you can go to 80% quite fast with the new Polestar. But right now, it seems like the i4 is going to take the win to 90%, because the i4 is still a German car, and German cars like flat charging curve, and I cannot lie. Let me see, it's going to hit 90% there. 38 minutes, hit 90%. We only go to 90% this time. But the new Polestar is not that far behind. It's at 87. Okay, it goes a little bit slow towards the end. Also, what I notice here is that the state of charge scale is slightly non-linear at the higher end, and that's why it's kind of like this, but at least in low end it doesn't seem to be that non-linear. But okay, and then Model 3 is on the third, right? The old Polestar is just way behind, Previously, there 90%, 42 minutes versus 38. Yeah, okay, so it was 4 minutes slower than the i4, but that is still very respectable. But you see now it's quite clear that the old Polestar, when we had some comparison like this, it wasn't class leading or anything like that, But now it is. it is actually, it came on the second place before it will come on the fourth place or whatever. If you tossed in more cars, it will also be a bigger difference. So just showing you how much slower the old one is versus new one. You can also look at the time here, that yeah, how many minutes it's going to take. We're going to sit and wait a couple more minutes, but just look at how it is. But also, you can also pay attention to the kilowatt hour counter, that the old one got 70 kilowatt hour. Well, the new one is going to be close to, oh, there might be some cooling here. Yeah, so this is a little bit misleading to only look at the kilowatt hour delivered from the charger. You actually have to look at how many kilowatt hour got into the battery. That's what matters. But yeah, because we actually, since we spend longer time charging, the cooling also runs for longer time, and that's why it could appear as we have you know, got more the same kilowatt hour, but it's actually not like that. But you see how we are talking about 50, is it 55, 56 minutes? It's going to hit 90%. 55 minutes versus 42 minutes. That is quite convincing, man. Big difference in time. So yeah, very, very impressive of the new Polestar 2. And if you look at the charging curve here, yeah, the Model 3 has a nice and flat 250 kilowatt until it starts dropping. So it gets that initial jolt, which helps, of course, but then eventually it also falls on line with the other ones and then even goes below, because, yeah, this is usually what happens. You take the power in the beginning and then you suffer towards the end. But versus the red line here, you see that the Polestar and the i4 is actually fighting neck on neck, and then you see that it flattens out a bit here versus the i4 even, but then around right around 80%, 75, 80%, then the i4 gets that flatter thing there. So it's, yeah, so, but okay, but look here, compared to the old Polestar had a quite slow ramp up. This also cost a little bit of time. But then the old Polestar just has a lower lower curve overall. But you know, we are talking about 4.7 kilowatt hour more, and in percentage, like roughly 5% more maybe, but the increased speed is way better. So they must have done something with the battery pack to be able to sustain higher power, actually right on par with i4. You know, very impressive upgrade that they actually care about the charging speed, because that's what matters in Europe, because we have so many high power chargers. And then here we also compare against the other the small battery Polestar. So we see that despite that, you know, the old small battery was actually charging very impressively, considering that it was only 64 kilowatt hour versus 78, as you see here. So it had pretty high C rating. It could even match the big brother at some points, right? And also at the higher state of charge. But okay, but it was a smaller battery, yeah. So in energy wise, yeah, it's still slower. But still, the old one was going quite fast. So yeah, I feel like the big battery seems like they could have charged it faster previously, but maybe there were some other limitations. That's why they couldn't go faster. But the new one here is right on par with the competition, and maybe even surpassing the competition at some point. So yeah, there you guys have it. The new Polestar 2, yeah. If you're sitting with the old one, and you're considering if it's worth getting the new one because of the charging speed, it is definitely worth it. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching, and talk to you later.